Welcome, welcome, everybody. Oh my goodness, I am so excited that you're all here today and that it's day one. I can't believe it. We're finally here. And you actually showed up for yourself. So I just want you to take a minute and give yourself some gratitude for carving out a little bit of time today just for you to really get curious about how this breathwork thing can really have a major effect on your life. But before we dive into it, I want to just tell you a little tiny bit about me and why I created this 5-day breathwork workshop. Oof, that's a mouthful. I created this workshop because I was that woman lying in bed at 2 a.m. in the morning with racing thoughts, pounding heart, giving myself a really hard time about snapping at the ones that I loved, snapping at my kids, snapping at my husband, always being a little irritable and disgruntled, feeling exhausted when I was wired, not being able to rest, and wondering why nothing that I had tried ever seemed to really work. I didn't know that my nervous system had been stuck in fight or flight for years. I mean, years, like 30 years, decades. It's a long time. And that no amount of positive thinking could override a body that believed it was in constant danger. When I discovered breath work and finally felt my nervous system regulate for the first time, everything changed. Suddenly, the mindset work that I'd been diligently working on stuck. The patterns were breaking. And I finally felt like myself again. It took me a minute to recognize her because it had been a really long time since I had felt safe in my body. The techniques that we're going to go over in the next 5 days were the exact practices that gave me my life back. And I'm sharing them with you because your breath is the bridge between where you are now and the calm, grounded, powerful version of yourself that you're meant to be. And you deserve to know what I wish somebody had told me years ago, that your breath is your power. And regulation is where everything begins. Now, I'm certain somebody had mentioned it to me along the way, and I just wasn't ready to hear it. It just didn't register, it didn't click. And so, my hope is that since you guys are all willingly here today and you elected to be on this breathwork workshop journey, that you are, in fact, ready to receive it and hear it and process it and practice it so that you can really begin to see the wonders that regulating your nervous system can do. Breathwork is the only tool that gives you direct access to your autonomic nervous system. So that's the part of you that controls your stress response, your emotions, whether you feel safe or threatened in any given moment. When you're stuck in fight or flight, your body is running the show. Your thinking brain is offline. And no amount of willpower or positive thinking can override a nervous system that believes you're in danger. But when you breathe intentionally, you send a direct signal to your brain that you're safe, which activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest. And it literally turns off your stress response. So this isn't just about feeling calm in the moment, although that is extremely powerful in and of itself. It's about rewiring your nervous system so you stop defaulting to anxiety and overwhelm and dysregulation as your baseline. Breathwork creates the regulated foundation that makes everything else possible. Better sleep, clear mind, emotional resilience, the ability to hold boundaries. That's a tricky one. And the capacity to actually feel your feelings instead of being hijacked by them. It's the difference between trying to change your life from a place of chronic stress versus changing it from a place of safety and groundedness. And once you experience the difference, everything shifts. So today we're going to be diving into equal breathing, or perhaps better known as box breathing. And let me tell you, this technique is going to become your best friend. This is your instant anxiety reset button. This is the practice that you'll reach for when you're sitting in your car before a big meeting and you have this huge swell of anxiety and overwhelm. It will help you reground into your body so that your brain can turn back on. or when your kids are absolutely losing it and having a meltdown and you need to remain calm and clear, or when it feels like your brain is just spinning and you're not rooted into the earth and you're just floating around directionless. This is something that will bring you back into your center to right now. This ancient yogic wisdom that's been used for thousands of years. And today, it's yours. Here's what I want you to know before we begin. There's no way to do this wrong. Your breath is your breath. If you need to pause, pause. If you need to adjust the timing, adjust it. This is your practice, and I'm just your guide. So get comfortable, put your hand on your heart, and if this feels good, if that feels good, take a deep breath in through your belly and let it all go. Let's breathe together. Let's begin. So as I said, this technique is great for creating laser focus, crystalline clarity, or for even when you're wanting like a deeper level of energy and power. This is also a great place to start. I do want to address one thing before we fully get into the breath, and that's how clarity supports you to live by your values and how this alignment ultimately leads to an effortless ability to let go. I feel like that's the golden ticket. I like to think of your values as the big why behind what you've chosen to do. And what I love about breath work is that when you clarify your big why, it's so much easier to love whatever you choose to do. Researchers say that as you understand why you're doing something, even the most painful activities can become fun and inherently motivating, like hiking a dangerous mountain that you've been dying to hike, or doing a Zoom call with your parents. But the truth is, I know my why. My big why is to be present with my family, to be grounded, to be living in the present and not be thinking about the future or ruminating about the past, and to make conditions like anxiety and depression obsolete. So when I do anything in alignment with these principles, it's fun and intrinsically motivating. So that's why I'm going to give you this breath work to cut through the noise of life when it gets really murky, when you're not sure what you're doing and why you're doing it anymore, and to bring you back into clarity so you can tap back in to the power of fun. Remember what that is? It took me a minute to remember what that is. It's very different than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. So sometimes we just need to be reminded, because real power isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And that's a slogan and a cliche that gets tossed around a lot. But what I've found is that most of us don't know how to integrate and discern what is harder versus what is smarter because we're dysregulated. So getting your nervous system re-regulated is the first step into really understanding the relationship between working harder versus working smarter. It's about being able to tap into your inherent motivation to keep you going, to be able to maintain and sustain when you're working on something that's really important. It's about being able to find the fun, even in hardship and pain, especially when you have an important mission, as I know we all do. So that's why we're going to use this technique that's favored by some of the most motivated people on the planet. It's going to create clarity, and it's what the Navy SEALs use to keep laser calm in union with a balanced and energized physical state. It's renowned for boosting concentration and performance. It stimulates the vagus nerve, which runs throughout the central nervous system and affects your heart rate, your digestion, and releases neurotransmitters to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. So this effect is it's within minutes, and that's why it's such a great technique. So you want to do this whenever you need laser sharp focus or clarity, or when you feel like there are so many things swooping around in your brain and you feel like you can't breathe. It's a great way to start your day, to drop in and remember exactly why you're here and why this is important. So I'm going to talk you through some of the contraindications since I can't put it in the chat. If you may be pregnant or you have cardiovascular issues, blood pressure issues, a history of stroke, seizure, or epilepsy, please do not do this practice. Instead, simply do a calm down practice of nasal breathing in and out of your nose without any holds. So when you hear me cue you to hold, just continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. This will be just as powerful for revitalizing your nervous system and bringing greater clarity to your mind. So before we begin, go ahead and take out your breathwork 5-day journal log that was attached to this email and open it up. Go ahead and create a copy and save it. And you can either type directly into it or you can print it and just simply write on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my headphones on so that you don't get any bad feedback from the music. And just going to share my sound. Fabulous. And go ahead and finish writing up. Go ahead and write down how you're feeling at this present moment right now before we get started into the breath work. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started. So today is day 1 of your 5-day breathwork journey. Your Sama Vitri Pranayama, equal breathing or box breathing. This is simple yet powerful. It can help you calm your mind, relieve stress, and bring balance to your nervous system. As I mentioned before, Navy SEALs use this to cultivate deep focus and presence before facing high-stress situations. And while we may not often find ourselves in life or death scenarios, our modern world can still feel like a battlefield, filled with constant demands, noise, and a lot of pressure. And many of us wander around in a state of anxiety about what may come. Through this practice, you'll discover how to reclaim your calm and return to a state of centered awareness anytime, anywhere. What this technique allows you to do is reset the meandering network that moves through all your major organs, the vagus nerve. By activating this powerful pathway, you increase your focus, your calm, and your ability to adapt to any situation. So if you have not done so already, come into a comfortable seat. Imagine a piece of string pulling you up from the top of your head. Let your shoulders soften down and away from your ears. And for this technique, you'll breathe in and out through the nose only. We'll breathe in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, and holding again for 4 counts. You might imagine tracing a box, one side for each phase of the breath. When you're ready, place a hand on your belly. Take a deep belly breath in, filling up the space in through your nose, holding, exhaling as your belly draws back to your spine, and holding again. In 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, belly rise. Hold. Exhale, belly falls down. Hold. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Continue with this gentle rhythm at your own pace. Stay with your breath. And notice if your mind has wandered. Amazing. Bring your attention back to the sensation of your breath. Loosening through the jaw. Releasing the shoulders down. Relaxing through the belly. Allow your breath to deepen, to be full and round and full of life. Inhaling joy, gratitude, inspiration, awe at who you are and what you have created on this earth. Exhaling to deepen into serenity, tranquility, and transcendence. Noticing any tension in the body and allowing this to melt away with a gentle sigh. On your next inhale, take a deep belly breath, expanding and hold toward the sky. Keep holding, but soften your shoulders, your belly, your hips, your thighs. And when you're ready, with a sound like the ocean meeting the shore, sigh it out. They say that where our focus goes, our energy flows. So I wonder, as you go about your day today, if you lose focus or find yourself caught in others' noise or listening to shadows, could you look forward and into the light? Can you anchor your attention to the deeper truth within you? The truth that only you know inside. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Take a moment right now and just notice. How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? What's shifted? This is your power. This is regulation. This is what it feels like to be in the driver's seat of your nervous system. And you did this yourself with your breath. 10, 12, 15 minutes, it's all it takes. This is what's possible. Give yourself gratitude for practicing with me, showing up. Go ahead and log your experience in your journal, just 1 to 2 sentences about how you feel right now. I invite you to lean into this technique throughout your day. Morning, noon, night, in between conversations, in the bathroom. Use it as a tool, your first tool of the week. And I'll see you all tomorrow. And until then, breathe deep. You've got this.